How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm hoping you can hear me. I've been getting feedback that I sound like I'm in a tunnel, so I play with my audio settings a little bit better.
Sounds pretty clear to me.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
sound pretty clear, like you're feeling better.
Yeah, feeling better. Also on a tremendous amount of coffee. Both things make a big difference. I might cough a bit here and there, but yeah.
I just heard today from a buddy of mine in Sweden that coffee prices have gone from, he didn't give me a size, but he said from $3 a packet to $7 in the past 6 months. Are you
What?
noticing anything
What?
similar?
N- I've noticed a rise, but not a 250% rise. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, he was pretty upset.
Wow. Well, for clarity, I have an espresso, and they once a month give me a deal. So it basically comes out to about $1 a coffee, when I take that deal. And so I just tend to wait until they have it, and then I just stockpile
Oh,
like 9 sleeves of it. Um,
see, I'm
and
cheaper
usually
than
that
you.
keeps me.
I
Yeah, like
bought
that.
one of the refill pods.
Oh yeah.
I
And
just dump in my own grinds. Yep.
oh nice. That must be cheaper at the end of the day for sure.
Yeah, it's like 40 cents a coffee.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So there you go. So $7 of a single packet, like, or
No, no,
is
no,
that
no.
like a
Like,
pot?
no, I asked him if it was like a half kilo or a kilo, and he was just like, I don't know, just like a bunch of coffee. Like, so whatever. It's more the ratio. Whatever. It's the same one he used to buy, and it went from 3 to 7, whichever size it
Well,
is.
what I
So,
will say is I've noticed that we used to buy, like, before I had this Nespresso, I used to buy coffee, like the big old McDonald's tins of coffee at the Costco. And that was probably back in the day, like when I first started buying it. I think it was like $11 for the whole tin. These days, it's maybe 25. So I've seen that jump for sure. But that was like, I don't know. That was like, I'm talking like, maybe over the course of 10 years. Like it's
oh,
been
okay.
not just like like it hasn't been like an immediate jump, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with the on again, off again tariffs.
Yeah, I
So
think maybe the coffee over there is just something happened. So some boat lost a bunch of their products from a big wave.
I'm finally watching Sopranos for the first time now, and
Oh yeah,
a boat lost a bunch of their coffee. Sounds like fell off the back of a truck. So,
yeah. Some rich oligarch
um,
wanted a lot of coffee.
so are we inviting more people up on stage?
Well, we invited some people through. Yeah. Oh, we have Al. Amazing.
Hey, hey. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Hey, yeah,
Morning,
happy
morning.
Friday.
Yeah, we have a couple guests joining today. I've just been checking in with them. I think we probably have a couple demos from the Koi team as well.
Very nice. Do we want to start with Prometheus updates?
Yeah, there's a bunch of updates coming out from Prometheus. We have been landing customers and bringing in partners like crazy. Just give me one sec to check with our guests today. I'm on the West Coast, so it's a little early for me, but I will be right back.
Yeah, Al and I seem to split the difference. It's a little late for me, so I think we both we both feel groggy, different directions. Um, so,
Oops, I muted myself. Yeah. Yeah,
oh,
and I'm in the middle.
and you're in the middle, right? Um, so while we're waiting, have you seen anything within the kind of community pipeline that's excited you in the past week or two with tasks?
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely last week the Pulse Trade AI task, which is done by a community member, name's Grimshaw. I believe they were invited today. He was invited today actually to come chat. But his prediction model went live. So I've showed and shared a lot about the DeFi dashboard in these happy hours. That's an open source project that the community all has access to and can use. And was we actually ended up partnering there with Grimshaw to implement some of our services into a production ready app. And so there's the Pulse Trade AI app that's basically running the coin nodes to make predictions on a series of different securities and stock options and crypto tokens, all that. You can go to the Pulse Trade AI site and you can kind of see the free version, and also I believe that the paid subscriptions are live too now, so you can actually go there and you can pay for your subscription and you can get the Koii node community to start like making predictions and aggregating that into one single service, which is I think a pretty incredible leap forward. I'm really, really excited to see, what kind of comes out of that. I'm going to be a customer. I'm definitely going to use it and to see if, we can make some trades that go up. The DeFi dashboard certainly has overall shown positive trends, at least month over month. So I'm pretty confident that this kind of dynamic inference model really works.
I've made one good crypto trade and a bunch of bad ones. So any help I can get.
Any help? Yeah. Well, the nice thing is the AI is doing it 24/7. So and the
Yeah.
Koii nodes are doing it 24/7, so you always get the most up-to-date data. I think sometimes we make a trade based off yesterday's data, and sometimes that's the difference.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned this before. Last year around this time, I helped set up a hedge fund that was doing AI analysis, and it was just you kind of had to hold your nose. It was just so full of cloak and dagger secret formulas and whatnot. Uh, the guy that we were helping build it up wouldn't even give us enough information to help him build it. Um, and this is the 180 of that, like just to see everything democratized once again. That's the theme I keep going back to because that's what excites me the most. Just the idea that everybody gets to participate as
Y-
equals.
Yeah, no, I mean that's absolutely what it's all about. We're leveling the playing field, and I think that's why I really enjoy the dev webinars. Is really I'm building stuff for you guys, for the community. That's enjoyable, I like the idea that people are going to take my code and do stuff with it, and that there's lessons within my code that people can take to build production level applications. Obviously, we have a coin network here, right? I don't need a DeFi dashboard in my portfolio, but I love building these tools. I don't want to build them for nothing, if you know what I mean. And to be
No,
honest,
completely.
if I want to take care of Koi, I can't take care of this production level DeFi dashboard. I love that I can give it to the community and they can actually take it and build something that's really impactful and meaningful.
Well, I don't know about you, but like with things so busy in life, sometimes I feel guilty just doing a straight hobby with no production value. So this strikes a chord, right? You get to do your hobby and it gets to help people. So that
Yeah, exactly.
that scratches that itch without the guilt.
It's phenomenal. It really is like a super satisfying feedback loop.
Yeah. So
Well,
let's
it
to see
seems,
how
yeah, I think we brought
Hey,
some
folks.
one of our guests up.
Yeah, I want to introduce you guys to Alexander Markin. Um, Alexander is here from Aydo. Do you want to give a quick intro on yourself and we can talk a little bit about your project?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And we at Aydo are connecting third-party devices and as well doing as aggregation of different projects, so people can participate in multiple projects at the same time from one device, making it simple, easy to use, as well as lowering the hardware costs by allowing you to connect third-party devices for data streaming. And that's what we do.
And where are you located at the moment? Bit of background on kind of how you guys got started. Can you tell us the
So we've been
backstory?
doing, we had a smart home company that was specializing on smart home solutions, and we did that for roughly 4 years. And around 2 years ago, we saw a need for data streams. Basically, we saw there is a growing potential in AIs and growing need for real world data and pretty much any kind of high quality data. So we came up there with an idea of taking the data from existing IoT devices and channeling it to the data buyers. So yeah, they've been doing that for 2 years already, and we're excited to partner with Koii because computation is one of the things that underutilized, and we think it's a big piece of puzzle here.
Absolutely. I think the Koi community here will probably love to have some more options on their nodes, so that's exciting. And I think we also have Grimjaw here now too, from Pulse Trade. Grim, do you want to say hi?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. Hope everyone is doing well. Maybe last you mentioned you weren't feeling too good. Hope you're better now.
Sorry, I started to get a little bit of an echo.
Oh, pardon me. I'm sort of in an enclosed area, so yeah, sound bounces off quite a bit.
All right, that was a little bit better. I heard most of that. Could you ask your first question again, please?
Oh, I was just asking how AV was doing. Last time he
Oh,
said he wasn't fine.
okay. I can hear you much better now. Thank you.
Yeah, now it's much clearer. Yeah, thanks. Doing well.
Okay. So my real name is Patrick, student from Ghana, Africa, studying cybersecurity at the moment, almost graduating this year. And for the recent hackathon, I built the Pulse Trade AI. So I just wanted to clear off the bottlenecks of people trading and not knowing what to trade. I've been a trader before and got lost in what assets to trade, how to trade, and going through this whole cycle of learning how to trade, managing your emotions and all of that. It was a real roller coaster. So I just decided to build this solution to help people trade more confidently and efficiently, and hopefully it picks up.
So
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm curious, as a developer, what does this ecosystem most urgently cure for you as part of the development process?
Could you come again?
Oh, I was wondering, like, what is the maybe primary solution that the Koi ecosystem solves for you as part of your development process?
Oh, so that would be the prediction of stocks, crypto, options, and all of that. There's a large quantity of them out there, a lot of crypto, meme coins, and all of that. It's not easy to go through all of that. So, what I'm doing is using Koi to make these predictions. Then we pick these predictions using a RAG system and let the AI do more predictions on it. So
Okay.
Koi kind of acts like, yeah, that system for the prediction where it takes large volumes of storage or compute to process large volumes of data, especially looking at the market like this. So yeah.
Thank you.
And Grim, I haven't actually seen your app or your website before. Is there anything you can show us for a demo to see where this is all going?
Yeah, I can. Uh, one second. And could you allow my other account? I think I joined with two. The other is Grandma, so I couldn't spell the J. Thank you. Okay. Can anyone see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, seems like we're waiting for some people.
We run into this quite often where, oh, no, I get stream failed to start.
Awesome.
Should I?
Seems like it's loading in for people. Oh,
Okay.
it just went away from me though.
How about now?
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be back. I think we just need to let it load for some people.
Okay. So do I continue?
Just one sec. Chat's giving us some feedback here. Awesome. Okay, looks like people can see it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
great. So there's the landing page. Um, a bit basic, but yeah, gets most of the information across. So you can log in with MetaMask or your email. And I've already created an account, so it got me logged in straight in. But let me try logging in as a new user. Okay, so what you're looking at now is the chat. So for this system, it helps traders to chat on the application basically. I have a back and forth with other traders without having to know their identity or anything. So all you need is just the other person's address, enter it here, and you can chat with them. And also you can create a group chat here. So the purpose behind these chat systems is to train the AI to tune it to what kind of assets you are looking to trade on. So we sort of building a profile on you, the user, so it gets an idea of who you are, what you're interested in, and all of that, and it's able to process it and give you more recommendations. And there's the AI chat. So we have an AI system where you can chat. Uh, sorry, let me get that again. Yeah, so that's it. AI chat. So you can just ask any question about the stock market or anything, and it's going to give you some results. At the moment, you need to do some for the symbols. You need to format it in this sort of ways to get the accurate one. But I'm looking at building a more efficient system, which I discussed with AV. So users can, yes, while you're typing, if you do ads, it will list a bunch of assets for you to pick from. So you could access. Yes. So basically, if most people have traded here, you know about the order book trading. which involves take profit, stop loss, and setting your lot size. And most people struggle with this, trying to find the right take profit value, the stop loss, and the lot size that will be more beneficial for you. So it's able to make this process easier, generate the values for you, and you go ahead and execute your trade. Okay. So as we can see, yeah, if you see the response, you can see here, take profit and list the value, your stop loss, and the lot size. Yeah, so it can do that for now. But hoping to improve it and make it much more efficient than this. We have some other stuff. I don't think we have time, maybe another day. But here are the predictions. So all your predictions coming from your coin nodes all end up here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of them. For now, we're doing like just Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Tesla. So looking to expand that a bit more. Yeah. So I guess that's the most part of it.
It's really cool to see all of these, predictions, like that they're being made dynamically on the coin notes, and then they're all being aggregated here.
We have an aggressor and we have the executor. So these three of them will work in hand. The planner takes all the data, previous data, and the existing ones, work through them. The aggressor also makes its own predictions and determines the type of values that you actually need. So for that one, it pulls data from multiple sources like news, your group chats, normal chats, and any other information it has about you based on your profile. And then, yeah, it kinds of work around that to help you make better predictions.
And I'm seeing most of what I see here is Tesla, Amazon, Google. Don't get me wrong, some of my favorite securities. But you mentioned that you wanted to add crypto to this product as well, right?
Yeah, but that is giving a bit of a challenge, but yeah, I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
And one user's asking, I'd prefer to add my payment options through crypto, like the MetaMask wallet. Hesitant to put my card details there. Are you planning on adding any sort of integration like that?
Yes, I am. I had to
Awesome.
set up quick as just a default solution because some of my friends in Africa wanted to try it out. So yeah, that's why I had to do the card and mobile money stuff. But don't worry, yeah, we'll get it.
Makes sense. Yeah, super exciting.
So So I guess I'll be
Yeah.
waiting for a lot of questions from you guys, the community, and also hoping to get more assets people are interested in that we should list here in the predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There's a new section in our Discord for the Koii ecosystem projects. So we'll set one up for the Pulse Trade AI very soon, and then you'll have a spot in the community where the community can start engaging with you and interacting, and hopefully we can start building the first steps of this probably soon to be very massive community.
I'm looking forward to that.
Grim, just before you go, do you have any, or sorry, Patrick, do you have any open source GitHub links that you can drop in the chat for us? Main reason being we have now Prometheus coming online, and we're making a list of all the ecosystem projects where we might be able to throw some automated development help your way.
Yeah, let me drop it. Just a
Awesome.
minute.
Prometheus grants coming your way. It looks like somebody from the chat also asked, what's the win rate of your trade AI?
Oh, it's a bit tricky, but usually it's currently sits at 25%. Fluctuates a bit, but yeah.
25% per week, per month, per year?
Wait, I didn't actually get the question. Could you come again?
The question was, what's the win rate of your trade AI? So, like, how often are the trades getting, how often the trades net positive, and then like, I guess, how often is it trading currently?
I think at the moment it runs 24 hours a day.
And is it making many trades per day at the moment, or is it holding for longer? How does that work?
Oh, that's what you mean. No. For that one, it currently just runs on my account. You have to get people, if you want to trade, you need their public key from their wallet address to do all of those setup. So for now, it's just my account. But yeah, it sets at 25%. Yeah, 25.
Sounds pretty profitable. I guess we'll have to wait for a wider consumer application for it. I'm sure everybody here would probably like to try it once that comes out.
Yeah, I'm particularly curious once you integrate the crypto. We still have a bull run ahead of us, right?
Not really. I'm putting together a team to work on that. So we are hoping to complete that in the next 2 months. So yeah, I think a lot of results will be coming in very soon.
Excellent. Were there any other questions?
Yeah, we got another one. X wanted to rephrase their question. If it makes 10 predictions a day, how many win trades and loss trades based on a 1-to-2 ratio, risk ratio, reward ratio, will win, right? So, are you saying a 25% win rate, or are you saying you're 25% up on your portfolio?
Yeah, 25% up on your portfolio.
Right, awesome. That's what I thought. Yeah, so we're talking about a 26% positive return on portfolios, folks. That's what we mean. Just wanted to clarify that out.
I'm sorry, sound has been a little bit of a challenge. Over what period?
This would have been a week, right, Grim?
Oh, wow.
Seems we're having some technical difficulties. I believe this is over a week.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Cool.
we see the
And
privacy
I'll just
feature.
mention we have Prometheus. Sorry, I cut you off.
No worries. Yeah, 25% a week's pretty good. I just posted a bounty for Prometheus to start taking a look at your repo that you posted there, Patrick. So hopefully you'll start getting some commits from the community very shortly here. On the Prometheus side, in the last couple weeks, we've seen on the Prometheus side, we've seen in the last couple weeks over a couple dozen of bounties coming up, and now I think probably there's a handful of accounts that have been doing commits almost every day. So we have now what looks like a very active dev ecosystem just coming out of the Prometheus agents, which is pretty exciting. I want to hand it back over to Alexander. If anybody has any other questions for Grimjaw, you feel free to drop them in the chat, and he can reply there. Want to thank you for coming on and for presenting your product, and it's exciting to see this coming out on Koii. Definitely lots more we can do. Alexander, do you have a screen share or a demo that you can walk us through just so we can get a bit better idea of what Aydo's up to and just see the platform?
Okay, let's see. Let's see, camera. The thing is, I've never did Discord AMA sessions before, so I may need some help of how to share a screen here in Discord, but I can show you the demo if you can help me with that. Share your
Sure.
screen. I think I think
You got it.
can you see my screen?
It's loading.
Let me
Just
know when
loading
you can
for me.
see. Okay, let's give it another couple of seconds. Okay, can everybody see it?
Yep. Seems like the chat can see it too.
Okay, perfect. So basically, what we are building is, on one hand, an aggregator for deepened projects. From another hand, a connectivity infrastructure. So the connectivity infrastructure means that you can connect devices on a. Hold on 1 second. Loading. Okay, hold on. I think I should. Baggy demos, you know how that works. You can connect devices on a protocol level, such as Zigbee, Z-Wave, RTSP. Basically, you take a third-party device, and you take a third-party device, and you can connect it on a protocol level, meaning you can just basically do a simple pairing, and that can be smart home sensors, that can be temperature sensors, humidity sensors, CO2 sensors, which are pretty reasonably priced. I would say around anywhere from 15 to 30 bucks you can get a decent solution, and especially taking into account the current tariffs that are put around the world, that's gonna reflect on the deepen IoT sensors prices, and users gonna look for options to save money on the hardware, and this is one of the ways you can do it. Again, you take a generic devices, you connect them, then you go to data streams, and currently you can stream to our data set, but we're also doing integrations with a couple of projects, so soon we're gonna have 375 AI here for camera feeds, as well as we're working on doing integration with Koii, so you can do participate in the pool and do jobs that Koii can send you, and the VPN services. So kind of like all in one place. We also give you our own rewards for completion of quests, such as like doing some verification, installing first sensors, doing data streams, etc., etc. And of course, for the data streams, you get rewarded. The thing is, you are get it. So currently, you can get Aydo points, but you are rewarded in the project's native token. So if you would do a job for Koii through our app, you're gonna have Koii tokens here. And the logic behind all of this is basically, I personally like Koii project, but there are people who may be very excited about Wi-Fi sharing, and Koii is just, they're not maybe they're not informed about it. Maybe they think, okay, I have a big computer, I'm not gonna make much out of my compute, so they may not go and bother installing the whole thing. But with the aggregation solution, once like they join and they may start sharing their Wi-Fi, joining Koii will be a simple click. So they see that they can earn something extra from their compute. Click, they're participating, and same applies with any other deep in project. So somebody may be all about data streaming, but they have resources left unutilized, and that's what they can do to kind of get the utilization to 100%. Okay, so would be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Sure. So first up, I guess, can you talk a little bit about like what the most popular use cases so far have been, and anything cool that's coming up in the pipeline?
So one of the things is that for the use cases is the AI agents. So this is basically a new sexy word on the blog, but the idea was there for a pretty long time. So AI companies have flashed this money. They are like the quality of your AI is basically based on the quality of the data you get. Now, all publicly available data is already scrapped and used, and the AI companies are willing to pay for proprietary data. So those proprietary high-quality data sets is of value, and that's what DeepIn can provide. Another big use case with AI would be data streams. So one thing is to train your AI, another one is to make it interact with the real world. So if you want AI to interact with the real world, you need a real world data. It needs to understand what's going on, and that's one of the things DeepIn can provide. And the DeepIn has a very high competitive advantage comparing to traditional ways of collecting data, because we do it at a fraction of the costs. And the applications of those AI, again, they can range dramatically. It can be even insurance cases, but it can be stuff like traffic. It can be like you can look at the cars on the street and commercial vehicles and kind of understand, okay, Amazon is having more trucks on the road or less trucks on the road. Or if you're doing traditional stocks, or like our also guest speaker who was earlier, maybe down the road he will use AI and look at the faces of traders. They put a camera in front of a stock exchange, and if the traders go to the stock exchange all smiling, maybe it's going to be a bull day. So I mean, the application will rise. For us, the goal is not to find the application, but find a data buyer and let the data buyer have a business around that data. We also, again, we partnered with Koii, and we believe that down the road for users is going to be more of like, they set up their hardware, they're trying to find what their competitive advantages are in their area. Maybe it's hardware costs, maybe it's data, maybe something else. So we believe people will set it up and kind of, make the profits out of their geographic or geographic location, or make the profit out of like the access to the hardware they have, or maybe just utilize the unused hardware potential. Does it answer it?
Pretty well, yeah. I like the financial application. Definitely want to know if people are bullish on the market. I think lately the fear index has been pretty high. How do you feel about that as it relates to DeepIn? Any thoughts on where DeepIn's headed and if it's going to make it through the bear?
So that's a good question. So from one hand, fundamentally, as an industry, I do believe DeepIn is a very good branch of crypto, or like a very good Web3 based industry. That's how I see the DeepIn. And the beauty of it is we do have the data, we do have the businesses behind the activities we do. So like, for example, Koii, it's a very good example. You sell and utilize hardware, and it's maybe cheaper than the other big guys, and you provide some decentralization. That's business. That's not mining for mining itself. That's a real business. I mean, uh, is it good for is it like a blue chip in a declining market? My opinion, the as an industry, yes, because basically, when the markets are down, when people are panicked, they're like the stuff that can bring some stable revenues, or this at least can stay active and generate some potential revenues even in the bear market. So from that perspective, I think Deepin has a very high potential and basically is a Walmart of a Web3 world, or like what I'm saying is like a blue chip. On the other hand, Deepin is very young, and a lot of projects are currently building communities, building partnerships, and looking for funding. And from that perspective, of course, that's a disaster. So we'll see. I think this is definitely a challenge from perspective of fundraising, community building, and getting people uh, participate. But once we get the users, they are more sticky because they understand that there is a business behind those deepens. So again, 5 years from now, I think it will be much more stable. Currently, I think it will have high correlation with the market.
Yeah, I have the same intuition. I think the thing that's been going on lately, though, is people in the crypto token trader audience seem to be more interested in trading meme coins at the moment. But I think we're going to see that flipping back as the meme coins keep getting drained. Um, Bit of a balancing act, though. I think the industry will definitely mature from here. Interestingly, I was at a
Uh,
Bitcoin event last night, and there
ac-
was a
ac- ac- uh, Actually, may I comment on that?
sure.
When it comes to crypto, also, I think the typical user of DeepIn is not necessarily the meme coin guy. So, I mean, the meme coin people who are there to make high revenues, and they usually claim to be high risk tolerance, to have high risk tolerance. And I think Deepin users are more of a miner type. That's the same type of people who did mining of Bitcoin on their laptops, 15, 20 years ago. And um, yeah, so I think we're like it's not the meme market we should be after. I think we like as an industry we should be more after people who can dig a little deeper and stick around. But again, that's just my opinion, but wanted to share. So sorry, go
No, I
ahead. I
couldn't agree
interrupted you.
more. No, I couldn't agree more. I think you're spot on. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
no, it just takes a bit more time to mature. There's definitely an audience of people from the Bitcoin community who want to trade everything back to Bitcoin, and so there's got to be a bit of trading volume to keep everything liquid. But that's always the balancing act. Um, Definitely know what you're talking about there, though. I think I guess the longer picture here, we had a space on RWAs yesterday that was very productive, and I think there's an interesting angle of integrating RWAs and IoT devices. Can you talk about what the business landscape looks like if we have more IoT DPIN connected to everything?
Um, can you elaborate a little bit more about the questions? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
quite
sure.
get it.
So what do asset streams look like, and like what is the big picture of the kind of the economic landscape look like in 5 years if we're successful with our mission of making DeepIn kind of the core of the ecosystem?
You mean with RWAs or in general?
In general, but also with RWAs, it seems like there's an interesting application there. But
I like RWAs, but connected. Let me kind of break it down in two. So let's talk about RWAs and Deepin. So I like the idea a lot. It has some regulation challenges. So I like the idea because for a lot of people, they don't want to bother getting into in a way if it's technical, or if it requires them to do any hardware ordering, hardware setup, and spending time with that. But they like the idea. They like the idea. Oh, I can be in crypto, but kind of diversified, and making some money out of, I don't know, Wi-Fi sharing or compute sharing or storage or data streaming. So they may like the idea of that, but they are not super about like setting the whole thing up and then maintaining it. And that's where RWAs are perfect. So you basically fractionalize that, and you let people get into deep without the need of getting their hands dirty. And you let people who do that professionally, service set up the deep either, again, deep computer, deep data collect in the areas where it generates the most of the revenue, maintain it, get paid for their service, and basically distribute the revenues. So from that perspective, I think it's very cool, and that will help the industry a lot. But then you run into the question of securities. And the model I described as a service support projects, and we really prefer to stay that way. So I think once there is a couple of good use cases with, and the legal kind of blesses it, and the Security Exchange Commission says it's good, I think we'll see a lot of RWAs becoming part of the deep end, like kind of blending together. So yeah, so that's on the first part of the question. On the second part regarding the whole like economic things and stuff like that, I think we're gonna see the industry consolidating, because one of the problems we have, or at least we had, is people were building isolated ecosystems. Everybody was, again, very protective of their users, very protective of their like ecosystems. There were a couple of big blockchains. They were very they're trying not to be interoperable. So like once you're on one chain, going to the other was really hard, or interacting with the other was really hard. And that didn't help anyone, and that barriers are getting removed. And I think 5 years from now we're gonna see more of an open market, more of a like the data, the compute, they are already becoming a commodity, but I think we're gonna see like more of like a world market price for commute, for compute, or world market price for storage, kind of like sort of like an industry standard. When we talk about oil, we take, hey, that's the oil price, but then you have different, Brent oil, other oils that again, they differ, but you kind of get, a good idea what it should cost. And I think we're gonna move towards that, more of like commoditization of all the streaming, so data, compute, storage, internet bandwidth, Wi-Fi, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, and I think the greatest part in 5 years from now would be the industry trust. Once we get it, once we get good use cases, once we get, so you currently have small startups using Koii, but 5 years from now you will have a traction to prove that, hey, people use us, it's reliable, and it's better than the other options available. And that's what will bring the enterprise in. So I think the industry is kind of like building traction for enterprise buyers, and that's just because we're in crypto. We have the reputation in crypto, and that's why we pretty much have to build that traction of trust, if I may.
Definitely agree. Yeah, I think the what you noted about commoditization is definitely a big movement that's going to be happening. But I think also with commoditization, it actually creates an opportunity for everyone else to sell into the market. Right now, it's really just Amazon Web Services and a few other large players that get to control the compute and storage market, and we definitely seem to be heading in a direction where everyone will be able to participate directly, which is pretty cool. Um, I realize we're wrapping up on time. I want to give you both a chance to talk about where people can follow you and any exciting developments that are coming up next. And then we're going to do a quick Q&A for the Koii community because there's a few questions they're waiting to hear back on. I guess, Alexander, since you've been speaking, do you want to talk about anything that you want people to follow or anything cool that's coming up in the pipeline?
Sure. We have a couple of integrations that should be ready soon. Actually, one of them is ready. We are just figuring out the best way to register the users, but keep a close follow-up on Aydo.ai, as well as our Twitter, Aydo_AI. As well as Discord, same stuff. We are about to announce one of the partners, so you will be able not just to stream the data, but to participate in VPN sharing as well as camera fits. The other exciting part is we are working on a simple, kind of download and start it application. So we did have a pretty technical setup, and we're working on getting a simple app you can download and start and just use Aydo, and that is coming soon also with that integration. So you're gonna see both of those things together. So suggest give us a follow both on Discord and on Twitter, and also Aydo.ai is our website. You can find all the links to social medias, and if you want to learn more about the projects, again, please go there and look through it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some great news about the Simplicity app. In the meantime, maybe we can help you get some tasks up on the Koii node. And Grim, do you want to talk a little bit about where people can follow you and how they can learn more? I know we've already seen the website, but X account, that kind of thing. Okay. Looks like Grim might be having some trouble with his microphone.
I see him typing away, so we'll probably see
Okay.
some updates in chat and where you can reach out.
Right on.
So I have a noob question that I was wondering during that presentation. When we talk RWAs, does that also include like tokenized securities, loan portfolios, and whatnot, like financial instruments?
Yeah, that's certainly the direction. I think one of the benefits of having DPIN is that data streams for those kinds of systems tends to be that they end up being reliable data streams that have been community vetted in some way. And so that can be really helpful for RWAs because it means that there's actually a third-party accounting system that's not just going to be somebody posting data to the blockchain. So it provides a lot of kind of core reliability features that RWAs have long been lacking.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. I noticed we do have some Koii community questions. I think probably mostly about the kind of functionality of things like the Prometheus task. We have a new version of the Prometheus task coming out today or tomorrow. That's also going to be a really interesting angle where we're going to see a significant increase in the profitability of the Koii node. We've really been focused on profitability per hardware, and it seems that the AI agents are definitely one of the best ways to do that. This is also part of how we're going up against companies like Grass to provide better hosting structure. And this is mostly with, as opposed to Grass, where they a bit better value for the individual and should provide a significant advantage for all of you. I noticed there's also a couple questions in the backlog about sex listings and DEX listings. So we're mostly focused on DEX for Koii at the moment. So there's going to be a couple DEX listings coming out in the next few weeks and launching across a couple different blockchains. And there's been a big reorganization of the chat inside of the Koii Discord. We're definitely doing some reorgs there and trying to clean all that up. I see a couple other questions around the Ocean Accelerator program. We actually have a new team member coming on to help with a lot of that stuff as a sort of venture lead. And so we're going to be providing some more updates on that next week as well. There's definitely a lot more coming out on the Prometheus end, given that we now have this AI code generation tool. So there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out there. And then I think a couple people asked about Prometheus and whether it's still working. The actual thing with Prometheus is we had it running on that test repo for a while, and now it's running on a whole bunch of other repos across our customers. So you're not going to see it directly on the Prometheus page there, but assuming that I can share my screen here, which seems to have been a problem today. Yeah, it looks like mine's not going to work either. Assuming that you can go to the Prometheus site, though, PrometheusSwarm.ai, there's a section where you can see all bounties. which is right at the bottom. I'll drop a screen share in here so that you guys can see. But the Prometheus Swarm page has a bounties page, and on the bounties page, you can actually see all the repos that we're contributing to now. So Prometheus is now out of the box, and we've stopped focusing on just like kind of the core testing repo, and now we have a whole bunch of other repos coming out every day, basically, where we're having a bunch more. And actually, you'll see at the top of the list now, there's Pulse Trade. So hopefully, we'll start seeing some pushes to your repo there in the next hour or two. And so there's a whole list of them now. And if you go into any of these, you'll see that there's actually a whole bunch of work being done by Koii every day. I noticed Vuk in the audience. Vuk, I think you have the highest score of any node operator so far on the Prometheus task. I've been seeing your pull requests and your commits pretty much every day. And most of them, it seems like you have, I think, probably about 6 or 7 days a week of pull requests coming out. So kudos to you. Definitely a bunch more people are also really engaged on that. And one of the really cool things with this is now we have agents actually reviewing each other's pull requests, updating them, and then fixing them. And so that's been online for a couple weeks there and definitely growing. Lots more coming on the Prometheus side. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat right now and we can try to jump onto them. But yeah, wanted to open that up for you guys. And Alexander, do you have any open source repos you can share? We can probably throw some open source development your way through the Prometheus agents that we've built.
We actually do. Let me get us. Hold on. Let me get the link.
Sure.
Okay, here it is. Okay, and see the chat. Okay, I just sent a link in the chat.
Right on. Yeah, I'll drop some Prometheus bounties on a few of these. Any particular repo that you would like to see it taking action on?
Again, the nothing comes to my mind. That's probably the developers that should be asked.
Sure. Follow up in the Telegram chat. Yeah, the whole idea behind Prometheus has been to help kind of actually refine and verify open source code. One of the big things we noticed with Koii is you've got all these tasks running on all the nodes. There needs to be a way to verify them, and so we now have this feature online that allows us to do that at scale. And it seems to be going quite well, actually. In the last week, I think we've had about like 100 pull requests across some actual like serious production repos, and rapidly growing. So lots more coming there. I don't see any other questions popping up from the community in the chat. If anybody else missed their question and you want to hear back from me, please feel free to drop me a message directly, and I'm always here to help. Thanks for coming on, Alexander, and appreciate you both, obviously, Kris and Avi. We'll be back next week.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you, guys.
Great presentations. Thank you very much.
Have a great one, folks.
Everybody have a good weekend.
Thanks, folks. Have a good week.